Hey guys, I thought I'd take you through some of the features of Color OS that's come pre-installed on my Oppo N1. First impressions of it, it's very smooth, it's very slick. Doesn't seem to be any lag or delay. Ooh, having said that, you saw a tiny little bit then. Now this actually shows one of the first things I'm not too sure about. So the app drawer, what on earth order is it in? I guess it's in some kind of most recently installed, because I did install Edmundo Pro only this morning. Yeah, so it must be in that order, but from what I can tell there's no menu option, there's no choice. I just want it alphabetical. How on earth do I find things? It really baffles me why they think that would be a good idea. So starting off with a bit of a downer, but let's move on to some of the other stuff because it's not all bad. I'm going to start off with the gestures. If I swipe down from the right hand side I get a gesture panel look. Now if I do a circle, that opens the camera. Obviously we can't see much because it's facing the desk. I'll do that once more. If I do, now actually I'll show you, those are the things that I've programmed. I can put a new one in quite easily. I can have it do all these different things. Probably the most obvious one is open an app. So if I want to open an app and I want to open Chrome, the gesture is going to be a C. I say OK, and there it is. So now to open Chrome I can do that. Is that quicker than going into the, well actually I've got Chrome right here, but is that quicker if I wanted to get to Google Plus? Oh, interesting. So that, to me, that was clearly a G because it had the stick on it. There we go. Is that quicker than going in and, well, because I can't find anything because it's in some kind of freaking random order, maybe it is quicker, but anyway, I think it's quite nice. They do, in theory, they're supposed to work when the screen's off. So if I do a V, so it's not blindingly fast, but that has now turned on my torch, look. But if I do a C, it doesn't turn on. If I do a G, if I do a circle, no. But I do a V, and it's on. So I don't quite understand. It's only apparently the torch one that will wake the device. Although, let's hope it works. It usually does. It's not blindingly quick, and it's not going to work now, look. There we go. So again, I don't know why it didn't work the first time, and for me the problem with that is if it doesn't work every time, you're not going to use it, surely. Oops, why did I turn it around? If... So it worked that time, good. I don't know what it is that just lets it decide if it's going to work or not. So now it seems to be fine. So okay, so 1 in 4 it didn't work. That might be enough to put you off. I'm just going to find the power button each time I press it. Anyway, ColorOS generally is very nicely presented. If we look in the settings, kind of a white and green theme. We get sound and display different bars. We can have interactive screensaver. While I'm here to show you that, I'll turn that on. It can just be changing colours, Google Photos, photo frame. I can turn it to start now, look. You might like that, I don't know. We can swipe sideways to get to them. There's quite a lot of settings and options in each different area. Turn the battery percentage on, look, I have that on. We get various O-Touch, because O-Touch is a feature, obviously. So I can double tap to launch a custom app. In this case it's the camera. So if we come back out, and again I've found O-Touch a bit like the double tapping the screen. It's not always. There we go. So press the back with one finger, shake and release the finger to take a photo. Seems a little bit odd. But in theory, look, I'm just going to stroke the back, even through the case. I'm controlling the screen, or it could be, if I was in the browser. So it's not, look, you can see there, it's not the most responsive Although that is through the case. There's a separate panel in the back that allows you to get for the finger control to work. There's a separate video on the O-Click, the ring, but basically you can use it for a variety of simple functions. Like that. Also, if the little ring gets too far from the device itself, they both start ringing, which seems kind of cool. It's basically Bluetooth range, so it seems to be 10 to 12 meters. That could be very handy. Might be too late if you've left it on the bus, because if you're 12 meters away from the bus, it's probably moving on to its next stop. But maybe it's better to know then than when you get home, possibly. It can flash when you've got notifications, if that helps you or not, possibly. Generally seems a pretty natty little bit. I think all the icons look very nice and clear. I find it quite interesting if I can find Angry Birds. There it is, look. Have a look at your Angry Birds icon and see if yours is a square with like a whole picture behind it, because mine's obviously like got a clear background. That's kind of cool. Seems to work with most of them. It's not always the case on different versions of Android. You might have noticed the signal icons are up in the top left rather than the top right. I find that a little bit weird in that that's where I look to see if I've got a notification, and every now and then I look at that thinking, oh, I've got a notification. No, it's just the signal. What else? So the notification bar itself, there's quite a lot of buttons there, quite a lot of stuff. There's not actually that much room for the notifications, but you get a separate tab. Because I've got no notification, I think it keeps closing, but you can just close it to there. Your notification would stay there. I think that's quite cool. It's a bit weird and I can't show you because it's not notifying me of emails, but in most Android versions you can stretch it down to see who the emails are from, and in ColorOS I don't appear to be able to do that. If I hold down on one of these, it will take me to the settings. That's fairly standard actually, I think, these days. The other thing, so this is the 32 gig version, but ColorOS seems to take quite a lot of space to me. I assume that's where my other 10 gig has gone, leaving me only 23 and a bit gig left. Then we have, if I go to press the menu, we've got exclusive space, live weather, and coming soon. Literally coming soon just says it's coming soon, so I presume there'll be an update which will put something new in there. If I go to live weather, it lets me choose. I don't quite understand really, so if I say thunder showers, the background is going to change to thunder showers, so it's not that different to rain. Let's go to snow. There we go, snowflakes. So it's live. It's a live wallpaper effect. Well, it is an effect, it's just over your regular wallpaper, but it's not sort of in real time with the weather outside, which would be kind of nice if it did do that. Oops, I want to come out of here. Now, exclusive space, again we've got a coming soon, but we've got photo space and music space. Now photo space is this. It seems a little bit odd to me, so I can tap that and it's going to bring up my camera. And again, I can rotate the camera so you can see there's my keyboard again. I can take a picture from that and it drops into this sort of inline thing. I can go into the full camera application. I can go into my photos and go to the app drawer. If I press these, then I've got some other quick launcher. So I think this is just like a voice recorder. But it just seems a bit weird. The photos it produces aren't the same size as regular photos, so I'm not quite sure why I would want to use that rather than just hit the camera. The music exclusive space, sorry, I guess is just taking music that's on the phone, which I don't really use. I've downloaded a podcast, so it's found Twit straight away. So I don't particularly want that. I'll get rid of that. Look, delete music space. Yes, please. Then you see widgets, wallpapers, effects, and themes. Let's start with the easy stuff. Themes are just the two of them. Look, the one of them gives a bit more of an Android-looking theme. The effects are about, if you watch on the screen, it shows how it swaps between the different screens. Wallpapers, we've got a whole bunch that we can put in. and widgets. Now this I find a bit annoying as well. I don't know why this would be considered a good idea. You get to see 3 widgets at a time. Now I've not got many apps installed on here at the minute, so it's a bit easier, but generally I've got about 100 apps. If I've got to scroll through these 3 at a time, there could be sort of 40 to 50 widgets here. So I don't know why that was considered a good idea. I can't see a way of making it kind of full screen to get at them quicker. And I don't particularly like either, actually, the way, I'll see if I can find, well, probably the calendar one. I don't actually like how it wobbles about like a nutter. Look at that. I suppose some people might like that. It's a bit crazy for my liking. There you go. So this is ColorOS. It comes obviously pre-installed on the regular version of the Oppo M1. There is a CyanogenMod specific version, or it's apparently very simple to flash CyanogenMod, put the camera back, CyanogenMod on this phone, which is what I should do next, but I thought I'd do a quick video showing you some of the bits and pieces that go on inside ColorOS. All in all, it's not too bad, it's quite nice, but it's a little bit like some of the, you know, there's just some of the alterations you get on something like, you know, TouchWiz, for example. It's just really, to me, a bit like TouchWiz. Oh, I didn't show you actually, sorry. I do like some of the aesthetics with the sort of, if I was setting an alarm, for example, and I wanted to change the time. Oh, actually this is quite different. That is quite different to what I was after. I was thinking probably a calendar event would let me show you. You get this whole scrolly clock thing like you get on HTC. The time is quite nice. I think they've nicked it from Timely, really. I don't know, maybe other people have done it before, where you slide it around. 15 minutes please start, and then you get this quite funky sort of effect going on there. And that, so it's all, I think it's nicely presented, but I think I will go for having a crack with CyanogenMod to see how it runs, because in theory it should all work, you know, perfectly. That it'll be written specifically for this device. So there we go. I also like that it sort of turns on and off with the case, but that's not particularly specific. I'm sure lots of devices do that. So there we go. The Oppo N1 running ColorOS. My name's Andy. I'll catch you all again soon.